I have been entrepreneur for more than 20 years. I haven't got salary anyone else than myself. So I was university student when I met one other unsuccessful rock musician, and then at one night we decided, hey, let's start a company, and then we basically started to help musicians to succeed, and we had an office there in my partner's Jussi's, my co-founder's bedroom, and there where everything started. We didn't have any kind of clue of running businesses. At that time, we didn't have any kind of clue how to sell systematic. Even though we didn't have basically anything, but I started to sell us. I didn't lie, but same time gave the feeling that, yeah, we are the player in that field. Quite quickly, other companies felt that I know all those things. And they started to ask help. The key thing, if you want to be entrepreneur, that you go and learn same time, and the faster you go, the faster you learn.
Hi Paavo, thank you so much for coming to the live with Fund. How's it going?
Fine, and thanks for invitation. Yeah, great to be here.
So as today we talk about yourself and not about the startup. So we talk about the people behind the startup. Would you like to give me an intro to who you are, where you come from, and how it all started?
Yeah, so Paavo Beckman, and I have been entrepreneur for more than 20 years. I haven't got salary anyone else than myself. So from myself, and basically I was a university student when I met one other unsuccessful rock musician at that time, and then we didn't have any kind of clue of running businesses, and we both of us we were social pedagogy, so that was our major in university. And then at one night we decided, hey, let's start a company, and then we basically started to help musicians to succeed, and that was interesting time. And when suddenly one day I started to do that, even though I didn't have that was maybe the last plan that I had, that I would be entrepreneur. So that was some kind of no option at all. And then suddenly we have a company, and my partner, he was some kind of communist, if I say honestly that, and the last guy who had a mobile phone, and he was really introvert guy, and that was amazing combination, and that, okay, these guys start the company, and yeah, but that was fun. And after that, I have been there in Silicon Valley, lived there and led teams in New York and London, and also in Finland. That's some kind of starting point. And we had an office there in my partner's Jussi's, my co-founder's bedroom, and there where everything started.
What was the motivation? Because starting a business is a challenging thing to do. So what really motivated you to do something similar beyond meeting a friend and deciding to go? But you had to have some kind of force behind.
Yeah, basically, maybe I and my co-founder, as I mentioned, we were unsuccessful musicians, but then somehow we had a feeling it would be great to be part of that music scene, and then that was maybe the feeling that we could give something to other musicians and help them. I don't know, was it true or not, but at least we lied that, yeah, we can do it. And then I think that was basically the motivation to be part of that community somehow.
How did you feel when you started? Did you feel excited? Worried?
More excited, because we didn't have anything what to lose. Basically, we didn't have money. We didn't have, basically that was we continue the same path. We only took a student loan, and so that we had 1,000 euros altogether at that time, and then we then we basically started from there. But we were quite excited about it. Not, we didn't worry about basically anything.
You must be excited when you start when you start, especially when you have some co-founders. We can share some worries in any way, and you can leverage on each other. Anyway, you start, you feel excited. You must feel. What were the initial struggles? What do you find the most difficult part?
Basically, of course, the sales itself was somehow the biggest challenge, and especially to do it systematically. Because what I nowadays think that sales is a really systematic process, so that you can't trust luck, but it's a way of working, and at that time we didn't have any kind of clue how to sell systematically. So it was more some kind of, I was the hustler who negotiated everything and sold everything, and my co-founder was more some kind of thinker behind. People didn't know that guy, another guy at all, even though those who collaborated with our company really deeply, they haven't met even my co-founder uh, even for years. But basically, when I started to find partners and clients and so on, that was maybe the understanding the business logics. That was the biggest thing, and even though my biggest strength was that I only, even though we didn't have basically anything, but I started to sell us. I didn't lie, but same time gave the feeling that yeah, we are the player in that field, and then suddenly I found myself in big board. I was a board member in big international music organizations and associations and so on, because suddenly people felt that okay, this company is some kind of the independent music company in Finland. So basically that was the strength, but at that time I didn't have systematic sales processes to handle everything.
You go through it, you learn, and you keep going, right? This is how all the process starts.
Yes, and quite quickly, other companies felt that I know all those things, and they started to ask help, for example, for negotiations. And because they felt it, then I got a lot of information because people share they all kind of agreements. So then suddenly I learned a lot of all of those agreements because they ask help, and then okay, I can help you, what type of agreements you have, and then I check it out. Okay, then and suddenly I had a situation that I made some agreements for Universal, for example, when we negotiated with them, and they said, could you do that agreement because you have done that type of agreements, and then suddenly I did it and learn, and so that was some kind of cycle. And I think that is the key thing if you want to be entrepreneur, that you go and learn same time, and the faster you go, the faster you learn. That's basically the logic.
That's absolutely correct. Be an entrepreneur affected your life in a good and a bad way.
Both, definitely. So I have screwed up uh, things because of my job and being entrepreneur a few times. For example, I screw up my marriage with my ex-wife, and big part of that was that I put so much time for the company, and it took my focus and time really heavily. So definitely they are negative things as well. Uh, but same time, it's a great feeling when I can decide quite a lot that nowadays that how what I want to do and how I want to do, And nowadays it would be quite difficult to be in the big corporation, for example, where are strict policies. And if I feel that, hey, this policy is really stupid, and if I could not change it, that would be nightmare for me. So basically, that is really positive thing that I can really decide many things, and then basically decide what type of life I want to live nowadays.
You can manage your life. You can decide even when you start working, although you must give to you some kind of routine. So do you have any kind of routine? How does it look like your day to day?
Yeah, basically, I wake up quite early, 6 a.m. Then I help my kids. I have five sons, so so two a bit, yeah, two a bit older guy, and they are entrepreneurs as well. They started really early that path, and then I have three younger kids, 4, 6, and 8 years old, and I in the morning I help them to so that they go to right time to the school and kindergarten and so on. But then I start to work at 8, and I try to focus on most important things first. So basically, sales tasks. I start from there, because suddenly, if you don't focus on those most important things, then at the end of the day, you suddenly wake up and see that I have done everything else but not those things. So that's what I learned at some point, that those needs to be in the morning, so that I check it out, those go through everything, and then it's the time for the other things. And then I have nowadays quite strict schedule, so that I end my working day at 4 p.m. That's it. So basically, of course, I can think about those things during weekends as well, but I don't do work after 4 p.m. So that's my quite strict rule nowadays. Of course, there can be some kind of conferences or something, but generally speaking, yeah. And I hope that my employees have a quite good structures, whatever is the structures. If they want to work in the evening, that's definitely fine, but they don't work all the time, because then they can't use their brains best way. So I want that there is the
You need to balance. You need to find the right balance in life. Having this kind of habit is very useful. In my opinion, it works very well.
I have learned those some good habits that I try to keep them in my life. If I have seen that, hey, this works, so keep that, and forget those that doesn't work.
Have you ever thought I'm not qualified enough to be an entrepreneur? Maybe I will never reach the level that I would like to.
If I think about being as a founder, I think that it's really important to. Someone has said that success is same than remember. If you remember good things and keeps going and repeat those that really works, that is big part of it. But same time, the attitude is of course the really crucial thing, that you try to challenge yourself really strongly, and your coworkers as well, so that you don't, same time, when you repeat good things, but you are not stuck with those, because situations change, and you face the new situations again and again. So you need to also uh, challenge yourself, and if you can keep that balance when you are the founder, then that is really crucial and valuable. But same time, as a founder, I think that the really key thing is also to help other people to grow. So that you are not doing everything, but those employees, that they can take big task as well, and take care of those, and you support those, so that you don't think about, hey, I'm best in that and I know everything, and because I have done this 10 or 15 or 20 years already. But you need to also remember that it's a part of the being founder, that you help other people to grow and take steps as well. so that you don't need to handle everything.
Yeah, you must delegate, find a way how to properly delegate. And this is how the company grows, right? I mean, people around you that can manage even without you to run the company. But what do you like to do the most in your task, the daily task that you do?
Basically, they are two things. So one is that when I see that other people are growing, that I see that, hey, they are way better than me to do something, and I get I'm super excited about that. And I have hired really young guys as well during my path, and nowadays when I see that they are even not in my company, but they are maybe running the biggest company in their own field in Finland or somewhere else, and that's so great to see that I have helped them to grow, and now they are running maybe something else. And then I have been in the situation that I have hired them back as well. But that's super excited. I'm super excited about that. And then another thing is that when someone say that you can't do this, instantly I'm like, okay, this is great, I definitely will do it. So that's the and in some interviews someone journalist has asked that, hey, what has been the biggest strength, or who are the biggest supporter? And I have said that those who have said that you can't do it, instantly I have thought in my mind that let's get back to this. And that is exciting to when we started my first company with my co-founder, and we have 1,000 euro, we have office in the bedroom, we had one computer, and we didn't know anything basically about running business. And when we had a plans, and people said, hey, come on, you can't win Universal or Warner or these big music companies in this field. And then I thought, okay, that's great supporter. And then I felt that, okay, let's get back to this. And then when we did the some successful things, and for example signed one totally unknown band, they were youngsters, heavy metal band, and then we thought, okay, we use 80 euros for marketing, and that will be most selling artist in Finland. And we don't give any interview, we don't put any ads, and we don't try to get any radio play. And then when people had, that's not possible, and then I had, let's get back to this, and we did it. And because we felt that we understood how fans, how they behave, because our background was uh, social pedagogy. We understood, and I have studied psychology as well. So we thought that we can utilize these type of strength that we had. We didn't have money, but we had something else, and that is super exciting to do something that when outsiders felt that no way, you can't do it.
I think the biggest company in the world, all of them, to all the founders, they say you can't do it. Facebook, Google, all of them. Probably, I think 90.99%, which is a good sign. So someone tell you you can't do this, you must be happy and keep going because maybe it's the right choice. But also because if everyone understand what you're doing nothing different from the others. So what's the point?
Yeah, and if that will not success case, you learn a lot, and it's possible that next thing is the success case when you have learned so much comparing other people who didn't do it or didn't try to do it.
How do you keep yourself motivated and resilient? Because you need a lot of motivation, resilient.
I think that the motivation is that I want to do something exciting. So basically, I'm not good to repeat really basic things. So basically, I'm really bad to do it. So if we have reached some kind of point and we start to repeat it, I'm the wrong guy to do those things. So I get motivation to do things that I feel that, hey, there isn't that in the market yet, but that should be there. So let's start to do it. And then usually coders say that that's not possible. And then I said, great, so let's do it. And then they, okay. So I'm not the tech guy, even though I'm working. I do tech related things every day a lot, but I'm not a tech guy, but I try to think about that what should be there, and that motivates a lot, and give the feeling that now I'm doing something exciting, and so that's the. But if I think about resilience, that I don't feel that the fear, that feeling, and luckily my co-founder nowadays, he feels it, and we are balancing, because I'm going and I don't fear anything, but he think about, hey, by the way we should maybe think about this and that, but I'm really flexible, and I even like the situation when suddenly I find myself in the really weird situations. I feel that, okay, that's great. Yeah, let's check it out what I can do. So, but it's good that it's important. I really feel that I would not be a good founder if I would be only founder. I need another type of guy with me, so that we have a totally different type of strengths, so that we can, the combination is great, and I really believe that's the.
Founders are very important for many. There are some solo founder having had a very great success, but having a co-founder balance, maybe complete yourself, right? If you find the cost right. What's your relationship with failure? Are you scared to fail?
I would like to say that, yeah, I'm totally okay with it, but I'm not. I think that I'm okay with it in some kind of daily tasks, and that's one of the key part of the DNA of our company. That basically I try to underline it to the employees, that if we want to take steps, we will fail as well. We need to fail many times, and rather often than that. If we fear it, we can't fear it. But then I have had the situation also that one of my company went bankrupt. I left 3 years from this company before it faced a bankrupt. But however, at that time when I left from the company, and I felt that when I leave, the situation is not good, and I felt that I screw up somehow, and that was not nice feeling. But what was quite amazing, that suddenly when I left the company, I wasn't able to sleep, not because the shame or anything, not like that, but because I had so many learnings when I jump out from the company, and suddenly I learned a lot of things from last 5 years. But I didn't have time to stop and think enough, deep enough, and widely enough. But when I screw up, and that was somehow I failed it, then I was maniac to really write down all of those learnings, and then I decided I don't do this anymore. This mistake. Maybe I do a lot of other mistakes, but I don't want to repeat these mistakes. So that's my I somehow tried to take all learnings from it, even though the situation.
I mean, failure is there. Failure is there. Must be accepted. We should not waste failing. That's the point. You must learn always from failure. If you learn from what you have been failing and why, stop. Take your time. We rush too much. We should stop and say, okay, let me look back. What I done, something right I did. Maybe because I failed, I did something very wrong. You learn from there, so you are wise and much more prepared. You have 5 kids. So what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not working?
It's huge hassling, if I say honestly. When I stop at 4 a.m., then I'm coach of two football teams. So that's the I'm leading 4 to 5 trainings per week, and plus different type of games, and then same time I try to work out twice per week, and then every time workout, I go to ice hole as well in the winter time, and I go to swim. It doesn't matter, is it minus 20 degrees? I go. So basically, my apartment is this is old historical fire station, and this is lakeside building, and we have a swimming place there also in the winter. So there is a ice hole. So basically, I go there twice a week. That's great. Yeah, and then I try to somehow be present nowadays. That has been challenge for me, really huge challenge. But that's why I will not I won't be ready in this this field. But when I don't working, then I try to find time with my football teams, or with my kids or wife, or with myself. So that's when I do something, I try to focus on that and enjoy.
That's very smart. I mean, it's a good attitude. It's not easy to do so, but it's a very good one. Helps. I try to say I'm learning. But it's not easy to cut off the day and restart the day after when it comes to work. Are you involved in the tech ecosystem? For example, you live in Finland here is large end of the month with huge gathering of investors, startup, tech savvy people. But are you involved in these discussions? Do you like? And do you think the tech ecosystem is doing enough?
Yeah, I have been part of those different tech tech related ecosystem already for 10 years, really deeply. uh, and and at some point, I that was almost my full-time job to really be connected with everyone, and but nowadays I'm more selective. But it's great that they are the people who have some kind of, not only doing it because of doing it, but also think about some kind of meaning of doing, and all these sustainability things nowadays. Those are big thing, and I'm really happy. Yeah, and then nowadays I'm focusing on more to really helping concretely. In my case, mostly help those bigger corporations to utilize those smaller innovative companies. So that's my some kind of my big thing that I try to do as heavily as possible, and that's really amazing feeling to see work those world biggest companies, and then same time see that they need those small innovative companies. So that.
Innovation, in my opinion, can only grow and succeed outside big corporations because you have to have the freedom to try, the freedom to fail. Inside corporations, mentality is different. So you don't have the strength, right, to try to do what must be done. If you fail, okay, they need because the small guys are the one who move the innovation and one who innovate by definition. Let's say you are in a round the table with world leaders. What would you like to tell them?
I would say that hey, come on, guys and gals, that we have all technology that we need already today, not tomorrow, but today already, and we could solve these climate change things, and if we want, we can do those things. But we are stuck, really stuck with the things that we have done 100 years, and we continue doing the same way. So but I would try to wake them up that hey, come on, this should be priority one. And it's ridiculous how slowly we step some things, even though we could do those things, many of those things, really quickly if we want. So that's my that would be my main message.
You're right. We keep with the past. We stick there. We don't move almost at all, except something that is not done, for course, of course, by politicians at all. But Yeah, they're very reluctant to move forward. They need to think about different stuff, more belonging to them than to the people. Are you concerned about climate change?
Yeah, I am, and luckily or unfortunately, I know a lot about it. So I have maybe learned too much. So that's maybe only fear that I have, that and shame that it's we are doing that we don't do more. But I try to. I want that I can look at mirror and say that okay, you did something. I want to be shame my things that I'm doing, and that's only what I can do. And basically, so I sold car. So even though we have 5 kids, hobbies every day around the cities and so on, we don't have car, and that's it. We won't have car. And then I don't eat meat at all. I eat only vegetarian nowadays. I'm really happy about it. Nowadays, it's really easy. I started quite a long time ago, and earlier it was a bit more challenging. But nowadays, you can go wherever, the restaurants and anything. Of course, you find vegetarian food as well. So, and my family have selected the same path. Of course, they make their own decision, all our children and everything. But that's my decision regarding myself. And then nowadays I don't I don't there needs to be really important reason if I fly somewhere. So for example, holidays nowadays I don't fly at all. So that's the if we have a 1 or 1.5 months summer vacation with my family, we don't fly. That's it. So and that earlier it was the ridiculous idea that what, of course, if you want to go somewhere, and nowadays it's supernatural. So I started this last year, this not flying thing, and it's great. We took with the family interrail trip. So basically, yeah, by train around Europe, and it was one of the best trip that I have had, even though I have traveled around the world quite a lot in during my whole life almost. And so I try to do something. I can't solve it, but I can solve things that I do. So that's my.
That's a great personal contribution. Everyone must do this. If each of us will do something similar, we did already a lot overall altogether. But as you
Yeah,
said, for many, it's a difficult choice.
yeah, and we really easily think about it. I would do if someone else do, then and or other people do, then I could do as well. But we that is some kind of excuse that I don't need to do things because neighbor doesn't do it. So basically, I try to turn it somehow that I can't cheat myself.
I mean, we are cheating ourselves many times. We're telling us something that we don't follow up. We don't work the talk. We just talk. That's the problem. This is the problem.
Basically, in most of our sectors in our life, we do that we talk, but then we don't do what we say that we should do.
We struggle. We struggle to me doing what we talk. It's very complicated for many. Which are the things that really matters to you in life? We are willing to fight for.
Nowadays, I mentioned it already, but basically last weekend, so I came back on Sunday night from a retreat, and I try to have every quarter one retreat somewhere, weekend retreat at least, where I go somewhere and focus on my own mind and have a great exercises, tantra exercises or whatever, mindfulness and so on, or yoga, and basically they were the one some kind of exercise that okay, you need to answer that who you are and use one word, and I am and something, and then for some reason my brain said that present, and that's the, as I mentioned earlier, that when I'm not working I want to be present. Of course I want to be present also in job, But that is really, really important, so that I don't only live my life and then suddenly check it out. I had this and this and that, but I didn't stop and enjoy and recognize it. So that's why I try to. I have basically everything what I need in my life. And now I'm not talking about money, but I think about I'm healthy guy, and I have a children, and I have nice home, and I have friends. So I try to enjoy those small moments that I have every day. So that's the biggest thing that I try to focus on. I'm really crappy in that, but at least I try. And when I wake up myself, at least in every 3 months, when I go somewhere for weekend, for example, and think about these things, then I remember it again. But if I need to work for it so that I can enjoy, and that is super important, so that I don't. I want when I have last second in my life, I want that I can say that, hey, it was great trip. You did what you did, and you can be happy with it. And now it's time to live that life. And I want that I can stay or feel that last second that fuck, I would like to continue, but okay, that was great trip and I enjoyed, and those small moments that I had.
No regrets at all. The best book and author.
I think that Atomic Habits, that is really good book, not only for business wise, but also for your life, that you basically can change your life if you do those small things that change your daily life. And that's really good, and it's based on science, and that's, I'm a science guy, so that's why that was really easy to read. And I don't remember author. I don't remember any author, any books that I read, or nowadays I'm listening books quite a lot. So I only maybe remember the name of the book.
I believe what you must remember is the content, right? Do you watch movie? And if yes, is I suppose the best guy.
Yeah. Usually I don't have time to look at those movie or TV, but if I have time, I usually want to check it out, some kind of psychological thrillers, or that type of, not action movies, but somewhere there is this psychological things, and I love it. So, and I don't remember those, even the name of those movies. But if I have time, not so often, but if I have time, I sit down and select some kind of psychological movie. That's my focus in, if I think about movies.
Well, what is the greatest lesson that life gave to you?
I try to focus on those things that matter, and I try to learn from those situations and learn from myself as well, that how I behave and how I, yeah, I don't know what would be the some kind of one thing, but basically learning that I have learned regarding life is that do things that you want to do, and what, if you think about your values as well, and to do things that you can be proud, not only success wise or money wise, but also otherwise, that so respect people, or whatever that is for you. So that is the learning, that because I check it out, one document that older people in their last days in their life, interviewer asked, okay, how you felt your life, feel if you think about it now, and all of those decades, and people say that two things usually, almost every single one: don't do too much work, and then don't do what other people want you to do, but do what you want to do, live life that you want to live. And I try to keep those in my mind, and that is good reminder also. I have mistakes with those two things also earlier, and now I try to keep in mind, so that.
Wait, do you have any wish for yourself or for your kids, for the globe?
I hope, that's my hope and wish, we would not think about ourselves only, but the whole planet, global, this climate change and everything, so that would be the natural thing, and private some kind of priority, but also the part of our whole ecosystem and communities, and so that's the big thing, and I try to teach my children also that if you want to be happy, do good things for yourself and other people as well. And it's great that my oldest son, who just moved to Lisbon, to entrepreneur university there, and then he will move Paris and Berlin as well after 1 year. But I was super happy when he said that I want to make money as much as possible, rather 100 millions than 10 million. But then I want to do things that helps other people as well. So that's first I was fear when he started to talk about money, and then I thought, fuck, now I now I haven't got that. I haven't learned right way, but nowadays he also feel that he wants to make money so that he can do good things as well.
It resonates to me a lot. I mean, without helping the community, what's the point, right? Without sharing, without sharing. Let me close with a recommendation. If you can you can recommend something to all the founders, entrepreneurs watching this podcast, what would you like to tell them?
Yeah, I think that one thing is that be super open and go out from your office. So, okay, now you can do it digitally as well. So you don't need to fly all the time meeting those potential clients, for example. But basically, be super active and try to reach people, ask opinion, and try to get some kind of understanding that my idea does it really resonate? If that doesn't resonate, why that doesn't resonate? If that resonates, why it's resonate? Could I do even more so that it resonated more? So that's the key thing, that you be at the beginning, especially that you are really active and contact people a lot so that you can learn a lot. But then a bit later, step by step, you need to focus on more and more things that really matter, and forget everything else. That's not the situation at the beginning, because you don't know yet what matter, because you need to test, and you need to evaluate things and get feedback. But later, it's really crucial that you think about that, what type of culture you want to have in your company and team, what type of people you want to have, and so focus on those that build some kind of, that support your values, support your goals, and try to exclude everything else, even though it would be great to do something. How I say, so that you could be cool or something. If I do this is cool, and people maybe like me because I did it. But forget that type of things. Focus on those that really bring the value to yourself and your team and the clients. Throw away all bullshit outside from the window, and that's really key thing.
Thank you so much for coming to the Life of Founder. It's been a very good pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for all listeners. Hopefully you get something that you can utilize also.
For sure. That's why we do this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, bye bye.